What you playing?
This is something we've all done before, right? I mean, with me, I played Lego Batman under the covers, but I mean, Partners in Time works too. So, I've been a huge fan of Partners in Time ever since I was a kid. I first played the game around when I was in kindergarten, and I immediately fell in love with the game. And ever since I started making YouTube videos, I've wanted to make a video about this game. So, now that I have a little time, I thought I would do that. So, let's dive into it. So to back up a bit, my first experience with the Mario series was playing 64 DS. I got that around the time I got my DS. It was one of my first games I ever played after the Cars video game, of course. And around pretty soon after that, my dad gave me a flash cart for my DS, which had a bunch of different games on it. So back then I played Pokemon Platinum, I played Mario Kart DS, I played Kirby and the Magic Paintbrush, and that cartridge also had Partners in Time on it. So I was like, what is this Mario and Luigi game called? What is this about? So I started playing Partners in Time, and I became obsessed with it. It was my first RPG, and I just loved the turn-based combat, and I loved how the action commands are based around timing. So that was really engaging for me as a little kid. And I guess that's just really what drew me into the game. However, I was not very good at the game exactly. So, like I said, I started playing in kindergarten. I played my singular save file up until about 6th grade, I think. So, it's like 6 years later, I was still playing one save file. I was barely halfway through the game. I got stuck on Thwomp Mountain because I was fighting Mrs. Thwomp, and I could not beat her for the life of me. I was severely underleveled, and I had no chance against her. I actually would use a calculator when I was fighting bosses, especially I did this with Miss Swamp. I knew exactly how much HP she had based because I was like reading like the wiki or something. So I used the calculator to figure out exactly how much damage I was doing, so that I would have, I guess, more motivation to beat the boss. That never quite worked.
Yep, math checks out. We have no chance.
So one thing that this game is widely known for is the darkness surrounding its plot. The game's about this new band of bad guys called the Shroobs, and they're basically they're these purple mushroom alien species from another planet, and they basically invade the Mushroom Kingdom in the past. They completely take over, completely shroobify the whole kingdom. They capture the Princess Peach of the present, and they do horrifying things to the people of Mushroom Kingdom's past. If you take a look around Toad Town, there's like shroob mushrooms like growing all around the buildings, and it's like disgusting. It's like they've completely taken over the town almost in like a parasitic way. If you take a look at the Vim factory, that is horrifying. It's a factory where they would take toads and they would basically just suck the life out of them so they could power shroobs. They would take the life force of toads, put it into juice, and then the shroobs would just drink it as energy. There's a boss that you fight called the Swiggler, and it's basically a shroob wiggler, and that thing it drinks juice, it powers the shroobs, and then the shroobs attack you. So they're quite literally sucking the life out of toads and using their life force to further attack the Mushroom Kingdom. For a Mario game especially, that's just like a really like dark subject to explore. And I think that's really interesting. And I wish the series would I guess explore that path more in the future, with more like dark stories and edginess. I'm a big fan of that. And taking a look past just the kind of like disgusting, heinous acts of the Shroobs, there's also some pretty like scary scenes in the game. Like when you first enter the Gritzy Desert, you try to enter the Desert Temple, and a whole army of Shroobs just immediately shows up and chases the Mario and Luigi gang completely away from the temple. It's kind of scary to think about the Shroobs having like this huge army that will like basically just stop at nothing to obliterate any life within the Mushroom Kingdom so that they can have all of the land for themselves. So in that same area of the game, the Glitchy Desert, Princess Peach is also supposedly killed and eaten by Petey the Piranha. It's a pretty scary scene, and I mean, for the rest of the game, the boys, like, they have no idea what actually happened to Peach. They think that her body has been, like, taken over by the Shrooms because she has a giant purple mushroom on her head, but she's basically incapacitated from that point on. And then it's revealed that that was actually Princess Shroob in disguise, pretending to be Princess Peach. And she does that so that she can invade the Mushroom Kingdom of the present. I think it's a really cool concept to use time as a method to tell the story. Because, I mean, you start in the past, and the past is pretty much a wasteland of Shroobs. And the future, the present, it's a completely normal Mushroom Kingdom. As the story progresses, the Shroobs from the past come to invade the Mushroom Kingdom of the future. It's a really cool method of storytelling, I think, and it helps make the game even darker, I think. So there's another segment of the game that is really weird. The part of the game where you explore Yoshi's Island because Bowser Jr. like has a bunch of cookies there or something. There's a giant monstrous Yoshi that the Shroobs like breeded. I don't know, they got some like gene splicers there, like they're doing some like Elon Musk stuff to those Yoshis. Like they're like taking the Yoshis and they like breeded them get together into some like giant Shroob Yoshi called Yub. And Yub is this like giant pink Yoshi with like red eyes, and it's like Godzilla to Yoshi's Island. After you explore the island, you actually get eaten by Yub, and you basically explore its body until you get pooped out after fighting the boss. Besides just being a really scary thing to think about with the Shroobs like crossbreeding species, it's also really cool. I mean, like the Vim Factory, you get to see like how far the Shroobs are willing to go to complete their goal. And I love that the Shroobs are such a ravenous species, are just so powerful, and I mean, what will they do next? It's also like cool as like a precursor to Bowser's Inside Story, because I don't actually know if they're connected at all, but I mean, you do explore a giant Yoshi, and then in the next game you explore Bowser for the entirety of the game and work together with him. So I think that's cool as like a cinematic parallel in a way.
Film Major.
So anyway, I mentioned replaying the game around high school. I was like, okay, I'm gonna play this proper this time. I'm gonna actually fight enemies. I'm not gonna avoid anything, and I'm gonna level up as much as possible. So this time I can actually finish the game that I've been obsessed with since I was a child. So this time around, the game was much easier. I just blew through all the bosses like it was nothing because I was actually good. I didn't fail every time at like the little bonus stats you can get whenever you level up. And so I eventually was able to beat the game, and I had a really cool time getting to the end. I had already seen the end through watching YouTube videos because as a child, I would spoil everything for myself relentlessly. But getting to play the end for myself was a really cool experience. I love the reveal at the end where the Princess Shroob that you've thought of as like the main antagonist the whole time was actually just like the henchman of the Elder Princess Shroob. And she's the real villain that was captured at the beginning by Peach. But then she's let out by Bowser Jr. at the end, Baby Bowser. Yeah, I think it's really interesting that you get to fight her younger sister and then you fight the real big bad at the end. It's a spectacle of a fight. You're flying over the castle on Princess Peach's throne. Peach is helping you out to fight the Elder Princess, and then the princess like transforms into this like giant like squid Shroob hybrid monster thing. It's just such a desolate fight. Because, I mean, even though the future is, like, quote-unquote alright, they have to be able to stop the princess now, because if not, like, the future's done for. Even though the stakes are kind of lessened because you know the future is alright, it also just feels really desolate, because you're fighting for a better future for the babies, and also to keep the future of the adult bros. And that was just an awesome, I loved that fight. It's a spectacle. So yeah, that was my experience with the game. I greatly enjoyed being able to finally beat the game and really prove to, like, I guess my child self that I'm finally capable of doing it, supposedly. Yeah, I had a great time with the game, and I highly encourage you to play the game too if you haven't already. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video about Partners in Time, and I hope you play the game for yourself. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you later.